Today's lesson will focus on evaluating sources. Studies show that although today's students are digital natives, they lack the skills to discern bias and assess credibility of websites. By the time we are done, you will have created a tool for students to use to effectively and efficiently evaluate websites. There are many methods for evaluating. There's the CRAP method created by librarians from California State University, or Kathy Schrock's 5 W's. We're going to look at what happens when students use these types of guiding questions to evaluate. We've chosen this website about the dangers of dihydrogen monoxide. I'll use the guiding questions I used with my students when I told them to get on the case to make sure a website was current, appropriate, supported, and exceptional. As you can see to the right, I created a Google form with the guiding questions. The first questions asked the students about copyright. We easily found that information on the website to the left and plugged that in. Then it asks about relevancy. If I were teaching, I would give the focus of whether DHMO is something to be worried about. Clearly, this website is relevant to that topic. Next, I had students look for the author. Students had to determine whether the author was qualified to speak on the subject. If the website didn't tell you, they were instructed to go online and look up the author. That's what we did here. And we found that Dr. Tom Way is a professor of computer science at Villanova University. So no, he's not necessarily qualified to talk about DHMO. The next question dealt with website bias. For this website, they mentioned at the very top that they want to provide an unbiased data clearinghouse. So that was an easy one for a student to answer. Not that it's ever that easy. To verify accuracy, I instructed students to take one fact from the website and see if they could verify it with another source. So we copied and pasted information about DHMO, search to see if that information could be found in another source. The results of this search showed multiple places discussing dihydrogen monoxide. This PDF file almost exactly has word for word the same thing from our website. A student would rightfully consider this information to be accurate based on that search. I then asked students about the type of source and then whether the source was supported, meaning did it establish credibility by citing its sources. Looking at the DHMO website, one can find places where they have discussed other researchers and their findings. If we looked at the bottom of the website, we also see that they have provided links to other related websites. Students may assume that those are cited sources. The next step in this guided questions asked whether there were any broken links or spelling or grammatical errors. Clicking on one of the links actually led to the website that they were looking for, so a student might then assume that there are no broken links and there are no errors. The overall look was one that was formal. The website didn't appear to have any advertisements outside of their site. So a student could then rightfully decide that this was a reliable source. And it only took 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Just to put this in further context, this is a fake website I had students evaluate using the same guided questions after we have done an example together. Here are their results. Student names have been removed. As you can see from the column in red to the right, results were disappointing. Only 46% of the students were able to tell that this was a fake website using my guiding questions. In context, 9 of these students were exceptional education, 11 were English as a second language students, and 1 was an academically gifted student. So what went wrong? After reading Michael Caulfield's writing, I can now see that students spent way too much time on the site. Let's see what happens when we get them off of the site to evaluate. The first move is to see if someone else has fact-checked. We'll use Snopes, one of the linked sites. The first result, when we search in Snopes, shows that DHMO is not a dangerous chemical as the website suggests. But actually, it was an April Fool's joke done by a pair of disc jockeys in Florida. DHMO is just another name for H2O or water. Within a minute, we were able to determine that the site is unreliable. The second move talks about going upstream or getting to the original or primary source. To do this, we'll try to check out the organization source, the U.S. Environmental Assessment Center. However, when we click on information about it, it takes us around to more information about DHMO. That should be a red flag. Even when we Google the U.S. Environmental Assessment Center, the results give us the National Center for Environmental Assessment. That probably would have tricked some of our students into thinking they were the same thing. The third move is to read laterally, or to see what others have to say about the source, not the topic. If we do a Google search for dhmo.org review, we will find among the list the Wikipedia page about the site being a hoax. Again, within a minute, we were able to mark the site as unreliable. The last move is to circle back, but we don't need it because we've already accomplished our goal. When we meet tomorrow, you'll get to practice evaluating using these 4 moves. We'll see how Google's top search results fare when we search climate change. See you tomorrow.